Showtime.
Showtime. Welcome to the show again, guys. Just a quick disclaimer, as we always do before our show, and as normal, always having technical difficulties. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are purely those of the individuals voicing them and do not represent the values of the sponsors or the platforms on which this podcast is hosted on.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's get into it.
Well, there we go.
Alrighty, welcome guys to another episode of In the Zone. Thanks for joining us again, and thank you to everyone that is on our live stream watching and listening to this. Just remember, we are on all the platforms: iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok. We've even got Facebook running now.
We have one listener right now. His name's Ben.
Oh, there you go. We've already got people joining, which is awesome. Hey Ben, how's it going?
That's
All right,
that's on TikTok.
That's on TikTok. There you go.
You bet.
So today we are going to be joined by a special guest from Content HQ, Swag headquarters himself, Quinton Defoe. Welcome to the show.
Gents, thanks for having me. It's an absolute pleasure.
That's all right,
No
mate.
worries. We've been really looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. It's finally good to get you on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, I've been an avid follower of Corey, and a huge fan of what he's been doing. But I'm excited just to share with your listeners, and excited just to share what I've got. But yeah,
That's awesome. So what have you been up to? Like, tell us about how this all got started, how Swag first begun, how you came up with the idea, and what made you just go for it?
yeah. Essentially, it started in 2017. So I was working for the government at the time. I was working in security services. We would work 5 days on, 4 days off as a rotation, day shift, night shift. And it got to the point for me where I just had enough of it. A lot of because we were in one of the most busiest of hospitals. Mental health was huge, so we had a lot of mental health people come through, and they would kick off, and then we had meth heads come through as well. Alcohol. It was just a whole bunch of just an environment that I didn't want to be in. And then added to that, I hated being told what to do by authority, and that's just my personality overall. And then from there, just made a decision just to do something on the side. I wanted to become a multi-millionaire here in Perth, just something an aspiration I wanted myself. Had no idea how to do it. And so from there, as I was working my 9 to 5, I was on the side just researching business models, what I needed to do to become to achieve that goal. And then when I was in the gym, I love working out. When I was in the gym, I just said, okay, look, I'm someone with a goal. An acronym for someone with a goal is SWAG. And that was my alter ego. I just pretty much just transformed into this guy who would, walk proud, walk tall, confidence, communication, and just even though the real Q who was learning on the side was very timid and very, still stuck in that 9 to 5 mindset. That persona who I took on as Swag was that alter ego that I transformed into. And so I just wrote down a list of how that person would act, how he would dress, how he would communicate, how he would go out there and get business. And I pretty much just went to Google and just typed in Google rich list, so the Perth rich list. just typed it in, just randomly Perth rich list, and it came down with all the millionaires here in Perth. And then from there, I just cold called every single one on that list. There's like about 50.
Yeah.
And then I got no's. I went and door knocked on them. No. And I got one yes. And that one yes was the interview that kind of sparked the whole Swag journey and the entrepreneurship kind of venture.
And if I may ask, what was it you were proposing to these guys?
Yeah, so I proposed my angle was, look, I have no business experience at all, zero.
Yep,
But
yep.
I've got a drive, and I've got a really just an aspiration to become like one of you guys. And
Mm.
so my angle was, look, you guys, your story is on the internet, written. No one's reading these days. How about I bring a camera crew? I'm going to sit down and we're going to interview you, take your story from the written kind of context, and then get your story as is from you in person, and that way you can share your wisdom, your knowledge that you've acquired over the years in like a 45-minute podcast. And so that
Right,
was
okay.
that was kind of like my angle. So I wouldn't do it like
Mm.
this. I made a promise to myself I wasn't going to do a Zoom. I was actually going to go to their office, bring a camera crew. I did, and then I pitched it. And so I pitched it to the one millionaire, and he goes, "Look, Quinton, you remind me of myself when I was starting off. Come through." And he goes, "Yeah, yeah. I'm going to put you through to Susie, who was the
Mm.
receptionist."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. And he goes, "Yeah, it's Susie." And I spoke to Susie. She goes, "Yeah, Quinton, come on this day. Bring your camera crew." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll bring my camera crew." I didn't have a camera crew.
Had to find a camera crew.
Not have a camera. I'm just like, "Yeah, no problem. Like, I got us. Okay, come on this time. He's only available from this time. This time, no problems." So straight after that, um, after Susie, I hung up with Susie. Went on to Gumtree, and I just looked at all the camera people who were advertising their services.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, okay. I got to the third one. I'm like, man, you charge $500.
Mm,
I
mm.
don't have $500. I've got $100. But this is what I'm doing. I'm going to be interviewing millionaires here in Perth. I need a camera crew. And then from there, maybe we can get some business opportunities. Obviously, we're rubbing shoulders, and we're kind of like, mixing with the elite of the elite. Maybe you can get some business out from our interactions. He's like, yeah,
It's
I'm in.
mm. It's kind of like one of those things where you worry about the main thing first and then the little things later. Like
Yeah.
you didn't have a cameraman. That's a little thing. We can always find a cameraman. You didn't have you didn't have the $500. That's a little thing. We're going to worry about the big thing now, which is talking to the rich guy. Then we're going to get the $500 and the cameraman, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. You just got to back yourself, man. And I was in a
Mm, mm.
position where I was kind of like at a point in my life where I just had enough, and I was going through a divorce at the same time. So that kind of elevated my a point to
You're
prove
right.
myself to go out there and really just have a crack at this, right? And so that's where swag kind of just kind of transformed. But got to get to the point of the story. We sat down with the millionaire. He gave us a great interview. We diced it up. The cameraman did his job, and
Yep.
then from at the end of it, I asked him. I said, "Hey, man, who's Mr. Millionaire? Who's someone like you who's successful, who has a story to share?" He goes, "Quinton, I had a great time. Here's a Rolodex of all my millionaire friends. Call them." And I said, "Look, can I drop your name?" He goes, "Yep, drop my name." So he gave me all the names. So I've sat down with 15 in
Mm.
total, um, from no one, and then from there just build a reputation of networking, acquiring the skill of communication, how to prospect properly, how to then convert that kind of relationship into deals. That's going to be a win-win for everyone. And that's kind of like how swag kind of took off from there on in.
So it really
Mm.
took off. What would you say would be your best interview that you've had out of all the millionaires you've met? Who would be,
Man,
I won't be your favorite, but the most value, I would say. Like,
It's
who's the
it's
most?
it's very hard to have a favorite rich guy.
it is because they've most of them have invited me to their homes. I've met their families. I've been in their cars. I've they've got multiple when they've had openings for apartments or a new apartment building that they're opening up. I've got invitations to go and been invited, and so I've got to rub shoulders with them. But probably the best one that the one that I've found to be of a lasting relationship have been three.
Mm, mm.
Carl O'Hare, who sold his business for multi-millions. He runs a online digital business. Andrew
Yep.
Ford, who runs an aircon business here as well, massive one. And then John Hughes is the one who gave me a shot. He was the first guy, millionaire, that gave me a shot.
Is he Australia wide or is
John
he just
Hughes.
Perth? I'm pretty sure he's Australia wide, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah,
I know his name.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah,
Even people
he's
in Sydney know him.
he was the one that gave me the shot, and then from there, just gave me his network. So it's just the power
Oh,
of networking, man. The power of people, effectively,
Mm.
is strength is.
what was your feeling when like obviously you had the 9 to 5
Yeah,
and getting the courage to turn around to the boss and just go, I quit. Like, what were your fears in doing that? Like the steps, the thought process. Did you have a second thought? Hang on, should I be doing this? Was it like, nah, I'm just doing it. I quit. See you later. Or was it like, ugh?
yeah, man.
Yeah, because going into working for yourself can be a massive step, and it does cause a lot of people like untold amounts of anxiety.
hmm Yeah,
It's
hey, man. I shat myself, man. I shat
yeah,
myself. I wanted to go fuck himself. I remember because he goes, "Q, we've been noticing that you're focusing more on your side hustle." Because I was uploading on YouTube these interviews.
yep,
Yeah.
My boss was watching them, right? And he's like, "Well, you're focusing too much on your side hustle when you should be working, right?" And he goes, "Now for that, we're going to relocate you to the main headquarters hospital where we can keep an eye on you." And I was like, "Nah, that's not going to happen." So I just told him to go fuck himself, and
That was it.
absolutely, yeah,
that was it. And then from there, I just kind of knuckled down on branding, on like positioning, as well as just all the skills that you need to brand yourself effectively. Communication is massive.
Yeah.
But then to convert the attention, so you need to convert the attention into dollars. And then from
Yeah.
obviously, I've got no money coming in, so I needed to hustle pretty quick. So pretty much, I think that's the best. I don't know for everyone else, but from my experience, the best way for you to think creatively is when your back is against the wall,
Yeah.
right? When your back is
yeah,
against,
yeah,
and you've got no idea as to how you're going to pay rent. Man, you figure it out somehow. It's stressful, but that's why I salute anyone who has a partner. If you've got a partner or if you've got a girlfriend, family
yep,
member who's able to see you and have their belief in you, because that's what you kind of feed off their belief in you and say, "Hey, Q, you got this," or "We believe in you. Whatever, however time you need, we've got you covered." And then to reciprocate that, when you become successful, you pay all that back to the people who believed in you from the start. And that's kind of like that's what's been my blessing.
yeah.
Hey,
Because once you become successful, you're going to be able to give it back to them 100-fold.
Yeah, 100%,
it
100%.
will.
And it's at the start where people you need them the most, right?
Yeah.
Because
Mm.
once you're successful, then those other people start, "Hey,
Noticing.
how are you?" I'm like, "Where were
Yeah.
you? Where were
Where were
you?
you back then?
Where were you at the start,
Yeah,
motherfuckers?
where were you when I was
I needed you at
prospecting and I
the
needed you? Yeah.
start." Yeah. And then they start crawling back, and then now they see
Your
you've
successes.
come through the shit. They're
Yeah.
gonna they
Yep,
want
yep,
of the glory, and I'm like, "Yeah, no."
Yeah. So it's you gotta know. I guess that's why the millionaires, they say it can be lonely at the top because it's hard to trust those around you and bring someone into the circle and knowing that what's their agenda. Why do they want to be a part of my circle? Like now, where were they when this circle didn't exist?
Exactly.
So
and
That's
it,
why
and
I just want to address it, because that's why I just want to address two things. There's a misconception out there that millionaires are very up themselves, are very poshy and very unapproachable, man. Every single one that I approached just were welcoming, friendly, hospitable. They just saw a little bit of themselves in me, and I think
mm,
that's what a lot of
mm,
people are scared to ask, because I think their positioning, they're just normal human beings like everyone else. They've got kids, they stress, they run multi-million-dollar businesses, so they're scattered, right? They're trying to figure it out like the rest of us. But for you to come on as a humble person and say, "Hey, look, I don't know anything about business. I've just left my 9 to 5 and I want to figure it out, but you are like where I want to be. Could you spare 45 minutes just to share some of the things I should do, some of the things I shouldn't do, who I should talk to?" And that way we can kind of like, whatever I can do in return, I'm here for you. And they go, "Yeah, here, talk to this person, talk to this person. Hey, I'm going to connect you here. Hey, Q, let's do a business deal." And
yeah,
that's kind of,
yeah.
yeah. So it's just asking. The confidence to ask is where the strength is.
yeah. And do you find that when you're talking to them that you just get more value out of it as well for the next interview? Like it just raises more questions for the next person you're interviewing, or how
Yeah,
does that process and that thought pattern work? Like, how do you come up with all the questions to ask them? Because I would assume when you're interviewing all these millionaires, you're like, okay, I don't want to be like the last interview. I want to think of something fresh to ask this one.
that's a great question, and probably the best way to come and from a perspective of like, you don't know anything, right? And so this is what I'm saying to myself. Okay, I don't know anything. I've just, there's John Hughes who runs a car dealership, and there's Rick Hart who's a successful business owner here. And so the questions varied, but they were all around the same thing. What did you learn? What was the best business advice that you were taught? And what were some of the key lessons? Every single one of them have almost gone bankrupt, because they've really just backed themselves. And I said, look, probably the key question that you should ask, millionaire or not, right? And this is something that is the mental health side of it. It's mental, it's huge, man. The mental aspect of an entrepreneur takes a toll on you, especially when you're a lone wolf, or especially when you're a solopreneur. You've got the going out there and actively, hunting, and you're making the business, but it's those nights where you're alone, where you have the imposter syndrome, and you have the self-doubt, where you're just for some entrepreneurs, it could be quite debilitating. And that's I think where I've learned most of my knowledge is how to get through the mental barrier of thinking you're not good enough when you are, right? Or having that self-doubt, that self-talk, where you just think, who am I to interview you, Mr. Millionaire? I'm just someone from the street. But they see that drive and they see that passion, and it's what they attracts them, and it's kind of like magnetic. If you got the drive and the passion, that's absolutely gold for anyone who's looking to do business, or to
what would you say is your biggest motivation in terms of like getting up every day and keeping that fire burning? Because I'd assume there's days where you're just like, oh man, like going back to a 9 to 5 it'd be easier than doing this. Like, what keeps that burn firing?
Yeah, that's a great question. 3 things. Number 1, my kids, 100% my kids. Number 2, haters. I've got a hate list. That's how fanatical I am. I've got a hate list, and I've got a great list. So my hate list has got like 9 people who have said things over the years, who I've just said, okay, if we quit now, we're going to make these guys are going to win, right? And then on the other side, I've got my great list. My great list are people who have helped me when I was in the shit. They've given me money, or they've opened their house to me, whatever. So that's my great list. Okay, if I quit, then how am I going to pay back these guys, right? So those are 2 things. And number 3, I just hate being told what to do. I hate 9 to 5. I made a vow to myself to never go back to a 9 to 5. It's either 50 Cent even said, you get rich or die trying. So I'm going to die trying. But yeah, most definitely
just not give up. And when it comes to your prospecting side of things, and you're going out and you're talking not just to millionaires but businesses alone, how do you approach them? Obviously in the same way that you approach a millionaire. Like, how long do you spend with them? Like, sort of, do you have a script? How does that pan out for you? Like, how does that?
Yeah, it's. I think in today's day and age, where everything's digital, I think if you can go out and spark a conversation with no intention, like I'm not trying to do business with you, I'm not trying to sell you, but if you can spark a conversation with a stranger purely by saying, hey mate, how you going? Just wanted to say hi, or excuse me, didn't want you to, don't want you to walk past. I just want to acknowledge that you look great today. No intention, right? And no attachment. Man, that is what's missing in today's world. Everyone's so much on their phones. It's got to the point where even common courtesy of saying hello or acknowledgement has gone completely out the window. So for anyone out there who's listening to this, if you can go out and spark, if you can cold call or cold approach a business or someone, or just say hi to a stranger, you're like leaps ahead of everyone else who relies on digital marketing, who relies on videos, right? Because one, when I go prospecting, it caters to all facets. It's going to help my communication, right? Because I need to talk to a real person. Number two, it's gonna improve my confidence, because in order for me to go into a building to speak to a stranger, it needs a certain amount of confidence. Number three, it gets you out of the house. So most digital entrepreneurs are online. They're sitting on their keyboard, and so they're not actively going out there. So they're losing their people skills. Number four, you get to dress well. Now, because I'm swag, right? I dress like
You,
obviously right
you
now, but
have to dress like you've got swagger.
I dress. I'm a jeans, leather jacket. I'm out there, and everyone feels.
Yep.
And you have your own merch as well, just to
Yeah,
top it off.
I've got my merch, which is Corey knows about it, so I'll let Corey. Yeah, so it's a whole facet of skill sets, gents. It's really just you've got an edge where you can, if you can foster all those skill sets, man, you're unstoppable, because man, business is done face to face. Like, I can't feel your vibe. I don't know if I can trust you unless I'm with you. And opposite, and I'm saying, hey man, would love to do business to you. There's no pressure on you. There's no pressure on me. But I see the skill set that you've got. This is the skill set I'm wanting to bring to the table. Let's do business together. Or what would it take for us to do business together?
Yeah.
So that's like, and that's especially here in Perth or in Australia generally. Man, it's if you can have it, if you have that skill, because a lot of the stuff that I've been watching is Americanized, and it's all fake Lamborghinis and stuff. But real business is done face to face.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I agree. And you've traveled around a fair bit as well now, haven't you? You've been around Australia, in a sense, doing the same process you started off in Perth, and you've transitioned, essentially expanded is what you've done.
Yeah, so I've kind of got clients. Most of my clients are here. I've got some in Brisbane. I'm going back to Brisbane on the 14th of October, so I'm looking back, and I'm just looking back to going back to Brisbane. If I was to relocate to any Australian city, I'd go to Brisbane. Brisbane is it's fantastic, man. I love my time there.
If
not sure what it's like there in Sydney, but have you been to Brisbane? Right?
No, not me personally, but I've heard a lot of good things. I do have friends in Brisbane, and to be honest, if I was forced out of Sydney tomorrow and they said, "Listen, you can go, but you have to pick a city," it'd probably be Brisbane.
Brisbane is just
I'd be willing to put up with the humidity in Brisbane if it meant having more of a beach or relaxed lifestyle than what I have here in Sydney, because Sydney is just fucked.
Yeah, it's a bit full on. I went there for when I was traveling around, like it would have been probably 18, 19. I was traveling around Australia on Centrelink, and I was just going from city to city every 2 weeks because you paid fortnightly. New location, new hostel. Mate. I was literally jumping from hostel to hostel, from couch surf to couch surf, because I just wanted to see what was out there. And you just when you're working a 9 to 5, you can't do that. You can't just say to the boss, "Hey boss, next week I'm just gonna shoot around Australia for a week."
No, you really just
you kind of
can't go walkabout, can you?
No. So every 2 weeks I was like, bang, just travel around, and I found Sydney to be like, I was like, what is going on? You hit that city centre and it's like you feel like you're in Chinatown, and you're just like squeezed in and you can't move, and like you've got traffic that's just like crossing trams. I'm like, oh my god, this tram's like going to kill this car. Like, what is going on? They've got this weird hook turn as well. Like,
no, that's Melbourne.
Turn?
We don't have the hook turn here.
You don't have the hook turn? Okay,
no hook turns for us. But I mean, and everyone's so fucking angry here as well. That's I mean, like I'm from Cape Town. I'm from a beach city, and Cape Town's a very relaxed place as it is. Then I moved here to Sydney, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with everyone? Why are they all so cranky?
Yeah, you just go from armed weapons to to cranky people without weapons.
At least there's a tinge of it there, but
Hey, what's that?
Yes, South African.
Yeah, have you lost? How long you been in? You've lost your South African accent, kind of. Is it?
I've been here for 20 years now.
Oh, okay, there we go.
That explains it. Yeah, it wasn't until he said he was South African that I actually picked up on the accent. So the first time me and Cranky said, I was just like, "Oh, it's just another Aussie bloke," like just jump straight into it. And I
Mhm.
could always pick there was a twinge or something, but until he said South Africa, I couldn't pick it up. And now I hear it more that he said South Africa. I can actually hear it a lot more. So it's weird.
Now he's here listening to me, and he's like, this fucking guy should be living in Perth with the rest of his country folk.
This guy's wasted in Sydney. So back on track, and just going sort of back to sort of your competition, because obviously you've got a lot of competition, a lot of businesses out there doing the same thing. I wouldn't say the same thing you're doing, but offering almost the same sort of marketing. What makes you different from all of those competitors to what you do and how you approach?
Yeah, for sure. That's a great question. One of the clients I got a testimony, well, there's three of them who gave me a testimony. He said, the reason why I'm going with UQ is because you came in person. You met me in person, and I felt a vibe. And then from there, I was able to establish a relationship. I said, cool, that's no problem. Let's do this. So I think the first and foremost, the edge is that you meet them in person. So a lot of my clients, I get to identify. I'm only identifying 3 per suburb. So I'm not looking for hundreds or thousands, but I identify who I want to work with. And then from there, just say, hey, look, this is the service I can provide. I provide you 3 months worth of content in a weekend, 2 days. No one else can do that at the level that I do.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to take 2 days off your time, like just 2 days. Give me 2 days. I'll give you 3 months. I'm going to save you time. I'm going to save you money. I'm going to make you money because we've got a way of creating organic content, converting that into money. So I'm a sales guy originally. So I like metrics for me is not looks and not likes and or the
likes ain't going to give you money, is it?
It's okay. Can I convert this attention into dollars? And then from there, I was like, okay. Now most of my clients, they hate selling on the front end. Which is just no problem. But I say, hey, look, you run a business. At the end of the day, you run a business. We need to put food on the table. So what we're going to do is we're going to sell on the back end. So we're going to promote you as the expert, as the leader in your industry. Like if you're a gym owner, can we promote the gym? No, we're going to promote you as the boss because this is your baby and no one can sell your baby as best as like you can. Like both
yeah.
All right. So from there on the back end, we just get them, hey, if you want to know more information, just comment the word podcast. I'm going to send you through a 1-page guide as to how you can start your own podcast. And then we send them, for example, right? And then they type in podcast. On the back end, they get a 1-page download. And then on the email sequence, that's where we do the sales at the back end. So yeah, it's really just my edge is really just in person. The price point in which I offer, but more so just the service of me generally, man, because at the end of the day, regardless of service, they buy you first. So my confidence in myself is what sells. So that's what you need because they buy you first, and then they buy the product. Okay, this guy's
it's kind of like buying a car. You don't actually buy the car; you buy the salesman and you buy the services.
Yeah. You go in knowing, hey, I want a Tesla. You're not loitering around a Tesla factory just for but if you walk into a dealership, say, for example, I want a Tesla, there's like 3 other Teslas, but I'm going to go with this guy because this guy treated me, 3 other Tesla dealerships, but this guy here,
he approached.
was served, he appealed to me. He was very hospitable and he catered to me. And that's where you win the relationship. That's where
exactly, and you might even be willing to pay a couple of dollars more because you like the guy himself.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. That's a good segue because it leads me into this next question of who is Quinton Defoe? Who is this man behind swag?
It's a great question.
Who is Quinton?
Just trying to figure that out myself, Jens. So it's been I'm originally from New Zealand, so I came to, just to give you a bit of context, I came to Perth 2007 for rugby. I was at university at the time. Didn't know I wanted to become a politician, of all things. And then, my rugby coach came to Perth for 1 year and then came back.
Mm.
And he goes, "Hey, look, Perth are looking for this position, this position." I put my hand up and I said, "Where the hell's Perth?" So I was supposed to come for 1 year, ended up staying, found a girl, married, had kids and the rest. And then from there, kind of like just because I'm the eldest of five, I've
Yeah.
always been felt that responsibility to provide. I have to look after family members and so forth. And so came into Perth. I always wanted to do my own thing. I hate being told what to do, especially from another grown man. I don't know, just me in general. But then from there, just kept on the side. I had a dab at network marketing kind of stuff. Did my own kind of business, and then kind of left that, and then found swag, which is my passion. Swag is more just a documentation of my journey. And then from there, just found other people who are on their mission, have a point to prove to more themselves and their families that they can build something for themselves and their families. And then I said, "Hey, look, let's get together. Let's nurture, a community of swags." And that's who I refer to my audience. I refer to them as swags. They're people with goals. There's someone with goals. They've got someone. Majority of my audience are men who are on their mission.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like been my journey. And then go through my divorce, separating that, and then just relationships. What's kind of helped outside of business, and this is what if there's a single man out there who are building something for themselves. I think cold prospecting has been a huge, a transformational part of my dating life as well, because it's given me the confidence to go out there and seek other relationships. It's not a priority for me at the moment. My business is a priority, but if you're a man on your mission out there, cold prospecting as a way to get your business, but those skills that you've acquired is transferable to your dating life. I've met guys who are 40-year-olds, who are 30-year-olds, who are still single, and they're just like trying. I say, look, start a side hustle, go out there, talk to people, and then once you talk to people, that confidence is what's going to transfer to your social life as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, once again, it comes down to being able to sell yourself. Really.
100%, man. It's you. It's you.
I don't know how I was able to sell myself to this one. I'm surprised.
It's kind of weird because it's almost like I had the idea I want to do this podcast, and then going online that night, and it was, I believe we caught up in a traffic control Facebook page,
Mhm.
and I seen Cranky's post, and I was just like, he's like, "I want to start a podcast. What are people's thoughts?" I was like, "Dude, we're doing it. I've already visioned it. It's happening. You're my co-host." And it was like, okay. And it's kicked off ever since then, and we've expanded. We usually have a young girl with us as well, Angela.
Mhm.
She's unavailable tonight, unfortunately, but would have been awesome to have 4 of us here tonight. But
Yeah, it
shout
would
out
have
to
been
Angela if she's watching.
Sometimes she tunes in on the old TikTok stream here.
TikTok and watches us.
Um,
Yeah, so it's kind
I
of
think
awesome.
she's got a lecture or something on tonight. She's a uni student.
Uni student. Yeah, she's pretty full on. So
Yeah, but
Guys, I do just want to chirp in here, Chance. I do
Yep.
want to emphasize that the power of having two people, like a co-host between you two, right? That's where the dynamic is, and it's really interesting. I know Corey's side, and obviously having just meeting you, Frankie. Do you guys have a fit there? So it's salute to that.
yeah,
and it's very lucky in that sense because the pair of us, we've never met. Like he said before, he just happened to come across my post on some Facebook page, and then he called me, and we were like, immediately we just had this rapport between ourselves that we could bounce off each other, and we were like, yeah, we're gonna make a great co-host team.
Yeah, we're going to make it happen. And even when I get on the radio now, whether it's 97.3, 92.9 Triple M, shout out to them.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you've got a great radio voice. So it's like, yeah, wait till you hear my co-host. And they're like, what? I'm like, well, I run a podcast. So we were lucky enough to get an interview with Curtin FM. And I believe you got that same opportunity some years ago as well, Quinton. Like you got to go on the radio and talk about swag at the time and your journey
Yeah,
at that point. What was that experience like? Like
that was the early
finally
days.
going live, yeah, in the early days.
I've been handed so many opportunities. I got the opportunity, which I dropped, to go on Channel 7, Channel 9.
Oh wow.
Because because of what I had in mind was I had the millionaires. So I had 15 millionaires, and then I said, "Hey, look, how about we get you everyone who I've interviewed all in one room for
Yep.
one night only? One night only. We'll fill up like an auditorium." And then somehow I got approached by Channel 7, Channel 9, saying, "Hey, if you're going to put this together, we'd love to host it, to feature it." Yeah, long story short, kind of dropped the ball on that one. I did not know what I was doing at the time. But yeah, so that was the opportunity there. I got the opportunity to speak at the radio station that Corey was on about.
Yep.
At the early time, yeah, it's great, man. Publicity and using outs, sources of communication as a way to, really just to share your message and share your mission. And that's what attracts people. It's your message and your mission, whatever that may be. Hey, I'm a guy who's just figuring out. I don't know anything about business. I'm surrounding myself with other business professionals. If you want to come along for this journey and see what happens, let's do this. And then from there, acquire the skills. Hey, this is what I've learned. Let's monetize that. How do you monetize it? Well, you create a membership. Well, that's kind of like the back end of digital marketing. And so, but yeah, that's to address your question, Corey. Yeah, the radio stations was a great opportunity for me to get out more. So I'm going to make it a goal to get out there more actively and just put myself out there more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like maybe Channel 9, Channel 7 haven't closed the doors either. Maybe
They
there's
haven't, man. They
a window that's still there.
Yeah, I just need to tighten, and that's the importance of relationships, as in a business partner, right? Because my skill set is sales. Going out there is relationships. But if I have someone on the back end, and if your audience out there, if you're good at the back end stuff, I've got I've got people who are good in that. But if you are a solopreneur, you need someone who's a strength in your weakness.
Yeah.
You always need a good headboard for the bed, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Something that's just going to hold the whole show together. Sure, the main part of the bed is the mattress and the legs and everything, but without a headboard, that whole thing's falling apart.
100%.
I've never heard of this analogy before.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's basically saying without the backbone of the whole bed, everything's just going to...
I'm not going to look at my headboard ever the same.
He's just going to be looking at every bed and going, I can't buy that. It doesn't have a headboard. That's going to fall apart.
No ensembles in this house.
So, your thoughts on air mattresses? Yeah, one pinhole and you're on cloud 9. Oh, Jesus.
One pinhole and you're on cloud floor.
Yeah, there's a leak in my boat. Oh, no. So with your prospecting and the way you approach people and the areas you go into, because you said you obviously go from suburb to suburb, how long do you spend in these areas? Like, obviously you don't want people knowing that, hey, you're sort of, loitering. Say that you've got like 30 businesses in a row. How do you know which businesses to go to? Like, is there a bit of research when you're looking at them before you approach them? Or is it just dive in, get in there, choose the number that you need and go, it's going to be the first 3, the first 5 in this area, and then dash out to the next suburb? Like, yeah.
The game plan, which I have, is very interesting. It's probably never been done before. This is a secret. I have no game plan. That's the
the secret.
That's it. You just go in, and I think with many entrepreneurs, they overthink and when they overthink, they end up not doing anything.
Yeah.
So, and that's what happens.
Fascinating.
That's procrastination, and what's it called? There's a saying that they say. But what if you overthink, you end up doing not doing anything. And that's how I started with the first millionaire. I didn't know what I was doing. Google search, and then from there went. So to address your question, I just go in, identify a business. So normally in Perth and Brisbane, businesses are on a row, and then across the road there's another row of businesses. I just hit each individual business. I identify the owner. So if I go in, there's been businesses where I've approached, like when I went recently, they've had the candle scent lit, the aroma kind of thing.
Oh, the aroma,
Yep.
when you go into their
You
candle
walk in
shop.
and the aroma hits you, man. And so you don't want to sell straight off the bat, and you just want to go, hey, look, what is this smell that this cooking right now? What is that? I'll just chill. Caramelized French onion, whatever that. I'm like, man, that is amazing.
Yeah,
that is amazing. And then we just kind of like, just start from there, and that's how the conversation starts. Okay, beautiful. I'm gonna, have a look at that. But what was your name? Sorry. And she goes, Sarah. Sarah, you the owner? No, you want to speak to her? The owner's at the back. Her name's Tracy. Cool. She goes, gets Tracy. Tracy, cool. Nice to meet you. My name is Quinton. First and foremost, whatever you got smelling here, that's amazing. So you just reiterate, you're complimenting. She goes, oh, thank you so much. But the reason I'm here, Trace, we're identifying one more business. We've got a couple of businesses at the moment, blah, blah, blah. You pitch. And then you kind of like, you want to say a couple of key words. Now, for me, I tailor this is probably my edge, is I don't pitch guys the same way I pitch women. I tailor my language specifically, right? So I use more emotive language when I speak to a woman business owner. For men, I'm more direct. And that's where the difference in the dynamics is. So when you're out there, and most amateurs, they use the same language to the same, whether it's men or women. Women hear things different completely to men, right? Women have the time to linger a little bit longer with conversation. Men just want to get straight to the point, right? So you want to use emotive language first and foremost. And then for men, you want to be more direct with your intention. Hey, we'd love to do business. What would it take for us to do business together? Well, it would take us for this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no problems. And then from there, the point of the visit, and a lot of salespeople, they go in with the intention to sell, right? You don't want to go in with the intention to sell. That's amateur. What you want to do is you want to check interest. And that's what I say. Hey, look, I'm not here to sell you, but this is what I'm offering. I just wanted to check interest. I just wanted to check your interest. Are you interested? Yeah, I'm interested. Okay, cool. The next step is, and then just, hey, the next step, obviously right now, Tracy, who owns this, florist shop, obviously right now it's not the time or place to go into the details. You've got customers to serve. I'm going to grab your email address and I'm going to shoot you a quick email through the office. Cool, no problems. Thank you so much. You're courteous of their time, right? But you're not there loitering. You're not there begging for their business. Oh, I need you. Can we book an appointment now? If you can book an appointment, that's the next step. Hey, Trace, have you got time now? Have you got your calendar right now? We can book in like a 30-minute appointment, not today, but say next week. Yep, cool. Book that in. All right. So you want to use emotive language when it comes to women, and you want to be short and direct, and then you want to check interest when you walk into any business, especially here, because I've seen a lot of videos where people talk about cold prospecting. It's a lot of it's in America. You can't bring American strategies to Australian businesses. They can read through the bullshit. 100%. You walk into a business and you start applying these little sales tactics and these psychology tactics, man, they'll just say, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Later.
Yeah, that's right. They just, Aussies are more just straight up ready to tell you to get fucked.
They know the shit. Like they know shit like that. And so that's why it's important to read body language. So you can actually okay, we need to be more direct. And then if they go, well, come to the office. Do you want to drink coffee? Do you drink? Yeah, okay, cool, let's go. And then from there, you want to make sure that. So my objective is to get 10 per suburb, and then follow up when we get through the office, and then I close when I go back. So my closing rate out of 10, if I set 10 appointments, I'll close around 5, 6 on the deals.
So you give yourself a good ratio then.
Yeah, you got to have metrics, man, because that's where, especially when you're working for yourself, what gets tracked gets sales.
Gets the
to be
sales,
honest.
yeah. And what do you think? Like you've obviously been doing this for some time now. What do
Yeah.
you think are some of the failures that you've picked up on in business that should be doing, but they're not doing? Like, is there any sort of quick information you can give us, like what they should be doing and how they should be going online? Do you think being online is the best way to get their business out there?
Yeah, for
Like,
sure, for sure. I think I've come across several businesses who said they're not online,
yeah,
and their reasons vary, right? And I'm just thinking, well, you're doing it still the old school kind of way, in which they're happy. Some have settled. Like I spoke to a lady in the weekend. She goes, "Hey, this is what we're offering." She goes, "I know I'm not interested. I've been 25 years in business. I'm happy. I'm ready to retire." Right.
yeah,
So if you come across people who are ready to retire, there's no point trying to persuade them, right? All you can
suspect.
just say is, "Look," and this is what you say, or you leave on a good note. Okay, you've had 25 years experience in the business. What's the best business advice you've ever been given, like over your 25-year career? And then she'll say it. Perfect, thank you so much. What's the worst business advice? You've had 25 years. What's the worst? And she'll say something. It's cool, no worries. Then you just say thank you so much and you move to the next business.
Yep.
But if you're not online, right? So for me, my motto is I um, I build my business offline, but I document online because
Yeah,
my audience, my traffic, my ideal audience, my target audience is not online. My target audience is small local business owners. So
yeah,
I'm out there in the streets, in the trenches, speaking to real business owners who have real money, right? And they're just saying, and it's a real pay point. Hey, I can't do content like today, tomorrow, the next. Cool. How about I take that off your plate? And then,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, how much is it going to cost? Well, that's another conversation. I'm just here to check interest. Are you interested in wanting to know a little bit more? Yeah, Q. Yeah, 100%. Okay, cool. Let me grab your email. Obviously, right now is not the time or place to go into the details. You've got a row of customers that you need to serve. I'm going to shoot you through an email. I want to grab your number. I'm going to shoot you through a text. Let's do this properly, and then I'm going to show you everything. There's no pressure on you. There's no pressure on me. But this is what I do, and this is the customers and the clients who I've helped thus far. All right. And she goes, okay, no problem. Let's do that. So you got to direct that business owner because you're the professional. But online is if you're not online, then you're not in the game. You need to be on both online, but the edge or the X factor is to be offline as well, which is prospecting, meeting people, getting business, whether on the phone, you're making calls, or you're doing a video. And at the end, hey guys, if you want to know more about how you can create 3 months worth of content in a weekend, just DM me the word content, and I'm going to shoot you through my one-page guide as to how you can get the ball rolling, how you can get that started today. And then
yeah.
from there, you're pitching, right? And
Mm,
then
mm.
you're back on. Hey, are you a business owner who's overwhelmed? Are you a business owner who loves organic content? Blah blah blah. So that's how you do it.
That's how you do it. That's awesome. And do you find you get a lot of downtime, or you're up late at night? Like, obviously, there's a lot of work and there's a lot of stress that goes into this. How do you keep your mental health, it's like at that, that balance between, hustle, 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 and okay, I need to switch off, I need to recalibrate, and then move forward again.
Man, it's a lot of prayer, man. No, I'm very spiritual. I pray a lot. My mom tells me, Q, pray. So I'm a man's man where my ego is like, if you tell me to pray, I'm not going to pray. But then if I'm in the shit, I'm like, okay, maybe I should. Right. So I pray a lot.
Yep.
I surround myself with men, the majority men who are like me, who are in their 40s, who are divorced, so I can relate. But if you're like, I'm happily married and I've got my life is together, I can't relate to that, right? Because and I'm working a 9 to 5, and I've got a set paycheck coming in every week. I can't relate to that, so I'm not going to bond with you. But if you go, Q, I'm an entrepreneur, I've been bankrupt, I've gone through the shit, I'm rebuilding my life, man. Okay, this is what's worked for me. What's worked for you? Cool. Let's get together, and that way it's relatable, right? That's why it's like two brothers who are on their mission together. And so from there, just to address your question, Corey, pray. I go for walks as a way to get myself out there, out in the environment, and just a lot of just downtime when it comes to I talk to myself a lot. It's weird because my sister's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, just talking to myself. Come on, Q, let's go. Come on, and just self motivation. I'm in the
Yeah.
car. I'm talking to myself. All right, okay, one more.
Hey, look. Sometimes you have to consult the best person for it, and the best person for it is often you.
Hey,
Yeah.
you said it, man. I'm just taking it all in.
Nobody
it.
knows your mind like you do. Don't mind me. I have a baby. That's why I've got a rattle. I'm just.
I was just wondering,
fiddling.
have you had too many beers? Are you on the rattle now? Or?
Cool,
hang
man.
on, hang on a minute. I just go. No, it's not working.
Didn't know you were on the rattle bottle, man. Jesus. Oh man, no, it's been awesome. You know, having you on the show here, Quinton. You've given us what 50 minutes of your time now.
Is it 50 minutes?
Yeah, it's been
It's almost been an hour. Yeah.
almost been an hour. Yeah, so
Look, man. Look, let me just finish off here. First, a salute to you boys, man. Huge respect, man, to the audience that you guys have acquired. I remember when Corey told me when you guys first started, Q started at 100, we've now got 600. Man, imagine having 600 in a room, just in a room.
I know that's.
So just salute to the hustle for you guys and respect to the work that you guys have put in to get to where it is today. And I'm looking forward, and I'm very fortunate, very blessed to be a guest on here. So thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank
We're
you very
absolutely
much.
blessed to have you too.
It can't be a show without everyone. I obviously bounce off Cranky, and then being able to reach out and have you come on the show. It's couldn't put much gratitude. Thank you for joining us, and I wish you all the best, and hopefully Swag. Well, don't hope. We already know with your fire and passion, you are going to be the next millionaire. Probably going to take over Twiggy and hit those B's instead of those M's. So, man, I've already visualized it. I can already see Swag and Content HQ written across the wall. With your fire and passion, man.
Yep.
I wish you all the best. I can already see it. So, all the best, and we'll follow your journey, and hopefully we can have many more interviews. Be awesome.
I've seen some of your many Instagram pages, Quinton, and I can see just how much you get yourself out there. You get yourself out on the street, and you get those pictures taken, get the videos made,
and
it's.
This would be the best time to sort of also say, Quinton, where can people find you? How can they reach out to you? And they want to buy your merch. Where can they go to get that?
Yeah, time for a word from our sponsors.
I'll send you through just a unique kind of link, but you can follow me at swag _ headquarters on Insta. Also got a YouTube channel as well. That's called Swag Headquarters. Essentially, if you are only come and only follow if you have goals. If you're someone with a goal and you want to change your life in terms of your health, wealth, and fitness, and relationships, right? Because it's not just business, but just every aspect of your life and self-mastery, then, man, the more the merrier. Follow me at Swag Headquarters, and I'll also, depending if you want to do a raffle, man, I'll chuck in a free swag hoodie, the Do Not Disturb hoodie, just for you guys, and I'll give that to you guys as a gift.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Yeah, let's do awesome. That.
Thank you. Let's do it. Why not?
Man. Easy, no problems. I mean, I got you boys, man. Respect to you boys as well. So
we got you too.
Thank you very much. And just on another note, with all our other sponsors that we do have, we have On Track Meals, one of the best outdoor meals that you can actually have when working in traffic control construction.
I mean, if not the best, I absolutely fucking look forward to eating one of these On Track meals.
Ryan just had a self moment there. He just went,
sorry about that.
He just totally went blank. They are great. I just had one for dinner. I had like a beef stroganoff type one. But they've got a different range from breakfasts, lunch, afternoon meals, and it's quite easily put it into a steamer bag, add a little bit of water, and bang. There's your meal. And when you're doing traffic control, doing these 12-hour shifts that could last more than 12 hours, my God, the amount of times I've gone on track meals, that is the only place that I will now buy my meals for meal prep for long distance. I go camping, I know I have to order myself some more on track meals because it's quick, it's easy. I don't need to carry a stove and a barbecue and meats and all that. I just on track meals. It's literally meals on the go, the tiniest bit of water, and in 10 minutes your food is ready. And the range of different variety of meals that they have is insane. So if you use our code word as well, on track meals 10.
No, that's
Or
in
is
the
that
zone
in
10.
the zone 10? Sorry, in the
That's all
zone
right.
10.
He gets it wrong every time.
I get it wrong every single time we do this.
So
In the
that's
zone 10 at the checkout, you will get another 10% discount. Quite regularly, they're running their own 10% discount. So essentially, you're getting 20% discount when you use our code word at the checkout.
and that code word is Swagman.
In the zone 10. We've also got another one that I've been blessed due to my TikTok following. Thank you to the 6,256 followers on the TikTok channels that my wife started up. Bellow Bliss. So all your steamer showers. So if you're blocked up and congested, obviously winter comes around and you get a little bit stuffy. You've got asthma, allergies, and all that. Throw one of these steamers in the shower, and it just unblocks you. They've got relaxation one, they've got a eucalyptus, and then they've got a lavender one as well. And I can tell you that the smells are just beyond. I can't tell you. They're insane.
As those watching on the live stream have probably noticed now and in the past, I have a deviated septum, so that's why Quinton, you've probably noticed me sitting back and just going like that every now and then.
Yeah.
This sort of thing sounds like it would be an absolute boon for me. I would really enjoy that. I should buy one.
Buy a packet. It's literally like $30.
Yeah.
And you get like a packet. I think it's like a pack of 50 or something like that, or 65.
50. Okay.
Yeah, so you get like a good decent size of them in a packet. Don't quote me on it, but you get a lot in a packet.
Hey, that's not bad for $30. I mean, 50 for $30 is, what is that, 75 cents each?
Yeah, something like that. It works out really cheap, but they're so good. Yeah, it might only last you 1 or 2 showers per little. I can't even show you, but it's like I would say golf ball size, I guess.
Well, you could always just go into the next room and give it to Quinton to show us.
Yeah, I could actually. I can do that. I can actually do that. While I'm doing that, talk about three-wheel bicycle while I'm doing that.
Yes. Good mates of the podcast is another podcast, Three-Wheel Bicycle. If you enjoy us, go over and listen to them on pretty much whatever platform you're listening to us on, because they're on most of the same platforms as us. They are an American podcast run by an artist, or I think he's some sort of musician out of Casper, Wyoming, called Steve Van der Heiden. It's a very laid-back podcast. You just sit there and listen to them talk a bunch of shit like we do. That's a very nice-looking bag. I like that.
Yeah, and they're really good. So there's actually only 10 in that one because I've got the smaller bag. Because it's a small one. You get the bigger ones that have a lot more in it.
Okay.
So that is the one to get.
So how do you actually use them in the shower, if you don't mind me asking, Swagman?
So how do you use these in the shower? It's quite easy and simple.
I just heard that cunt run through the house.
I was not running through the house at all. I would never do that. I'm in a HQ head office at the moment. We've got this massive studio thing going right now. So you literally just take it out of the wrapper, chuck it into your soap holder that you have in the shower. If you don't have a soap holder, you can just put it into like a little sort of crock top type thing that can leak water from the sides. So
Yep.
just something so it can drain, so it's not floating in water. But I chuck it in my soap holder and I just dash a bit of water onto it while I'm in the shower, and just the smell. It's within, I would say, 0.4 of a second. It immediately activates and it just instantly clears everything.
Now, did you measure this with a stopwatch or?
I literally jump in the shower. The minute you unravel it, you can already start to smell it. And the minute you dash even a hint of water on it, it automatically activates.
Okay, so it sort of diffuses into the steam of the shower.
100% straight away. It just diffuses into it, and then it just leaks from the bottom of the soap holder. So you don't even, there's no mess, there's no nothing. It's great. I got the small packet, you get 10 in it. But hey, there's bigger packets there. And they've got a subscription, so you can consistently buy as well if you want to put it on a pattern.
I like that. That'll probably help me out quite a lot.
100% will. I advise getting, for your situation, the eucalyptus one. Because eucalyptus is great for even when you've got asthma, breathing problems. Eucalyptus always helps, and these steamers perfect for that.
And do we have an affiliate code for them yet or not?
We don't. I have actually raised that with them. They are going to create one for us.
Nice.
I increased their sales by 10%.
So listen up, everyone. Don't go buying these things yet, but wait until we have an affiliate code so we can make some money out of it, all right?
No, everything's for free. Just go there. Just tell them it's free. No, it's not. It's not free.
Nah, we are doing this mostly out of the goodness of our own hearts. Go and buy these Bella Bliss things. I'm going to put in an order myself like fucking this week because, I need some help breathing.
It'll definitely help. Once again, thank you to Swag and Content HQ for being here today. And Quinton, thank you for joining us. And thank you to all our listeners who are listening and have joined our live feed. We've even got one person listening on YouTube right now, which is...
Oh, they're on YouTube. That's cool.
I linked it all up. So we are live across multiple channels right now. So if I click our live feed, we've got the Facebook, we've got the Twitch, we've got TikTok, and we've got YouTube running.
The Facebook? How fucking old are you, man?
The Facebook. We have got the Facebook running of In the Zone. And shout out to Shonky Traffic Controllers that we also run.
We really
698 people. It is unreal. We started with one, then 10, then 50, and each day it went up. We're getting like another 50 people coming in. So, thank you to everyone that's following, not just on our podcast, on Shonky Traffic Controllers as well. We can't do this show without you guys. Again, I've said it 1,000 times. Thank you, Quinton. Thank you, Swag, Content HQ. And thank you, Cranky, for joining us again. Lovely co-host over there in Sydney.
No worries. Thank you. What do you mean joining us? This is my podcast, damn
it. I'm trying to end it on a good note. Just roll with it.
All right, fellas. Thank you very much for coming in, Quinton, and it's always wonderful talking to you, Swagman.
Awesome.
And everybody else, because this is going to get published at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Good morning. Have a wonderful day. And we will be back with you next week.
Take it easy, folks.
Bye. All right, that's it.
That is how it's done.